the all-new Ram 1500 SRT TRX. So what is different about the SRT TRX versus the first gen TRX? What is different about it also compared to the RHO? There's a lot of changes people are not aware of, and that's what I'm kind of show you in this video. Let's get into this. This is a really sharp color. I really dig this. This I believe is the same color as TRD John's RHO. It's just a classy, really nice color. So some things that people are not aware of. The first thing I noticed, and I'll talk about this, there is a change in the braking on this. They went to an e-boost system, and here's actually another color here. We can kind of see our friend TRD John. Oh ho ho, sexy mama, how sweet. It is aggressive. You know what you got with this bad boy. So some other changes. Let's pop the hood here real quick. Okay, this is gonna look a lot different immediately under the hood than the outgoing TRX. Battery similar location. This is what is interesting is it does have the aux battery. I need to ask what that is for because I thought it was only gonna be a one main battery. You notice the brake system back there. This has the e-boost brake system. You got your junction boxes here, but this area is gonna look a lot different. And you notice this says Mopar direct connection. This is a new intake on the new TRX and it looks similar to the RHO. It is a very similar system. It draws air through the hood. This is actually a functional hood scoop, comes across and dumps right down on top of here. You also notice you got a two cooling system, one for the coolant for the engine and then one for the supercharger. And how sweet does that look, guys? Got the SRT badge on the supercharger. A lot of room actually up front. You can kind of see. The other thing that you see, notice, I don't know if you can see the green pulley in there. This intake elbow is all new, and this was part of the package to help it make more power than the outgoing model. And I love the orange valve covers there. And I couldn't remember if the engine block is a different color as well, but that looks really sweet. Under the hood, you know, as far as the hood design of how it draws air, I think it's identical to the RHO. So first thing I'm noticing is it looks a lot different immediately.
Yeah, you can actually see the supercharger
yeah,
layer, right?
For sure.
Yep. And this is a whole new induction system. This whole underhood really is focused on airflow.
So will all of them say the direct connection?
Yep.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
And then, do you find with this new intake system, does the intake temps run actually cooler, or is it just allow more airflow, or?
I mean, the inlet temperature of air is really going to depend on where the air is coming from.
Okay.
So, you know, on the old TRX we had 50% of the airflow coming in through the top of the grill and 50% from the hood. Now we have 60% coming from the side entry to the airbox and 40% from the top. So it's highly dependent on the ambient temperature.
No kidding. So let's talk about some of the other changes you guys made to this engine that is different from the outgoing TRX. So originally I was under the impression this was just going to be just kind of like a pulley, a tune, maybe more fueling, but there's actually a lot more going on, is that right?
Right, so we've enabled a higher red line on the engine. So we're running at 6,500 RPM as the max engine speed. In order to do that, we had to address the valve train, make some upgrades in there to the red eye content that was in previous model years Challenger Charger. So valve train upgrade, it does have a smaller pulley that increases boost like almost 20%. But the big stuff is the 7-bar fuel system.
Okay.
We're running. We upgraded the fuel pump to pressurize the whole system at 7-bar, and with all of the calibration that the team worked through, they were able to increase horsepower and reduce emissions.
That's awesome. And now, is it the same fuel injectors or just a bigger fuel pump?
They're the same.
Same injectors. Okay.
Yeah.
Still port fuel injected, right?
Yep.
And now I remember in the Hellcat world, which I've not owned one, but you always hear guys talk about the green belt.
Yep.
And I noticed that's different from the original TRX, right?
The green belt really came into play when you're doing high RPM.
Okay.
So
a little more strength.
They could very well be tied to this engine. I don't remember.
Supercharger's the same size, right?
Yep, 2.4 liters.
I also hear you guys even had to revise the hot end, the catalytic converters, right? And make some changes for more mass flow?
Actually, no.
No?
So, no.
Or is it the support mat or something?
We did change the support mat.
Okay.
So
yeah.
You caught me on that one. That's just because of the mass flow,
for sure.
the pressure of the exhaust, of the burning of fuel and air. We had to hold that brick tighter in the catalyst. But the rest of the exhaust is the same. It's 3-inch true dual
Huge.
with an X pipe and 5-inch.
I think it's cool you guys went to that detail of increasing. The fact that you guys went to that level of detail is great to protect, because with trucks like this, you're going to push it off road and you don't want to spit that cat out at the end of this thing.
Right. No, with that much that much RPM, it's a lot of pressure on the front of that brick.
So here's something else that kind of caught me off guard: the secondary battery. Now, I was under the impression this was kind of tied to when the engine start stop, right?
So the secondary battery is part of the Atlantis high architecture.
Oh, okay.
So that battery is got a lot of the electronic modules on it.
Okay.
Direct power, and the big battery here is primarily for just starting the engine.
Okay. I mean, more battery capacity is probably a better thing, right?
It's also tied to some of the safety systems that we have for the active driving assist.
This intake is wild. How it kind of makes almost like a 90, huge diameter.
Let me tell you, that took a lot of time.
I bet.
The number of iterations. I don't know exactly how many times they designed this, but the shape of it is very optimized for maximizing airflow to the throttle body.
I bet. I'm glad that now it shows the supercharger, because you always had this cool look, and before you covered up it.
How about that new badge?
I know. I like that. It says
you can
SRT.
actually see it.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, and I also noticed 0W40 in this.
That's
the engine oil. Yeah. No, I know.
Okay.
Some of the engines switched, and it's good to see the 0W40. Some other changes. You guys beefed up and made some changes on the transmission. Is that right?
So we took the same durability improvements that we used on the higher RPM track packages, like the Red Eye and Demon. We upgraded the torque converter primarily, just to ensure durability and reliability of the transmission.
Cool. Fuel. Can you run E85 in these?
Oh no.
No E85.
Not maybe the tuners will take care of that.
Yeah.
But not E85.
91 plus.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it recommended or required?
It's a premium required.
Required. Okay. Gear ratio. Is this 355 still?
355.
Okay.
Front, rear. We have the axle locker in the back.
Good. Well, appreciate it, Dan. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's really about it there. You've got your red badging on the front, your ADAS sensors, the red tow hooks, got the black skid plate, looks really nice. Let's see what this thing sounds like. Man, if you want loud, this thing's got it. It is a great sounding exhaust. You got the dual red tow hooks out the back. I like this. They put a lot of effort. You would be shocked at how much design studio work went into actually the head of the T-Rex on the back. The number of teeth, the scaling, the size of the eyes. We heard from the design team. It just kind of blew my mind. I like how that says SRT, kind of the old badging in the back, looks really cool. Got the power tailgate still. Look inside here. This one does not have the bed utility group, you notice, but it does have the LED lights in here, which is nice, and a spray and bed liner. And yes, it does have the power up, LED lights in the rear. Overall body panels, very, very similar to the RHO. No difference there. 91 plus octane, capless design. This is another change. This has got the 355 millimeter Ram Blackhawk E2 shock. So this is a big change, guys, for 2027. Number one, the new electrical architecture. I think it's called Atlantis. There's a lot of changes that went in place, and the reason for this was basically they want to make the vehicle, I don't know if it's impossible to steal, but it's the next generation of electrical architecture to make the vehicle less vulnerable to theft, which is a big deal with anything with a Hellcat under the hood, right? But in doing so, they found this as an opportunity to revise the suspension and make it better, suited to the new dynamics, the new power. It works a little faster. The spring rates are specific to this, being a little heavier than the RHO. They went to the new power, the new steering system, the new e-boost system. This one also has the rock rails, which I actually think look really, really slick. They're kind of tucked in nicely. You got a tiny step there, but it does give you some off-road capability. Now let's just take a look here at the interior of this model. You can kind of see the red stitching up above, soft touch, like an Alcantara suede down the sides. You do have power folding mirrors here, very nice. This also has the presets for driver 1 and driver 2. You've got massaging seats, Harman Kardon radio, nice storage in the sides. I mean, it's very much like the RHO in that regard. Now, this model here specifically, the payload on this one is 958 pounds. Some of these earlier build vehicles are a little different, so I got to confirm if this is one of the earlier build vehicles and if the GVW ties into that, because they did make some changes. Now the seating. All the seating comes with this red and the suede insets. Looks very nice. Good lumbar support. I mean, this is a really nice seat, actually. Nice. This is another thing where I feel like Ram does a great job. The floor mats, the protection, the entry here looks sweet. Let's check this out inside. You do have a little bit of space for your feet to go on, not a ton, but it works. So the dash and layout, you got soft touch material, red stitching, Alcantara in the middle, center speaker. This does have the digital rear view mirror that you can turn on and off. The other thing I notice here is the suede along the top. That's really nice. And this one actually has the sunroof. All these controls, you've got your shade, you can vent the sunroof, open the sunroof, and you can also open the rear. This is actually a suede material as well, which is nice. You got the home link, I believe is what they call it, for getting into your garage and presets. Here's another change I really like. I'm glad they brought back the glove box and they don't have the display. Something I would use more. The red stitching all through the interior looks really nice. Here's another thing specific, this badging. You know what's interesting? It's clear, and this thing looks really cool. There's a lot of detail going on behind the scenes here. This looks really cool. You can see it says SRT Hellcat 6.2 liter. It gives the VIN number. It doesn't give a lot of other specifics, but I'm wondering now that this is not like the steel, if this will be less chance of people complaining that they'd burn their hand or their elbows when they'd set their arm on there like that. So this might be a big improvement. You still got the suede here, center console shifter here. You've got the launch mode, and what we heard from the engineering team is they've actually made some revisements to the drive mode. So there's a little bit more rear wheel bias in some different areas. Let's look over here at the infotainment. This is no different in the aspect you can kind of set up all these different custom pages, and then you can kind of go in here and get into your gauges. Okay, so this is very similar like to the RHO or prior gen. You got your coolant, oil pressure, oil temps, trans temps, battery voltage, intake air. Let's go on the dashboard here. Let's go on the performance pages. You can kind of see you got your timer still. No one's done a 0 to 60 in this one. That's been reset. You got your gauges here. You can kind of see, let's see if it shows boost. Okay, horsepower, torque, very cool. G-force. You got your propulsion, dynamics. This is actually very similar to the RHO, which is cool. Going to your comfort, you still do have cooled seats, which is nice. You can change your themes, and I actually really like this theme a lot. And it is hot out, guys, today. The humidity is really high, and I just turned the cooled seats on, and I can immediately feel them. They feel really nice. You do have this nice storage up above still with the 12-volt plug. The steering wheel, this is another change versus the RHO, is you do have this nice leather covering with the red stitching here, which looks sharp. Otherwise, flat bottom, carbon fiber, paddle shifters in the rear. Now, menu-wise, number one, it's gonna say TRX. That's different, right? You still got a sport view, Baja mode. Here we go. Let's just see what it shows on the main display. So you got your fuel economy. You've got your gauge summary here where you got coolant, trans temps, intercooler temps, intake air temp. You've got your air-fuel ratio, boost pressure. I'll rev this up so you can kind of see. How cool is that? Just kind of shows that. You've got your oil temp, oil pressure, oil life, battery voltage, and this also has a storage mode for the battery as well. There's your tire pressure, there's your drive modes, And then you've got your idle drive total hours, and you can see top speed. Here's your tripometers. I mean, it's very similar. It might be hard to pick up in the video, but there is a heads-up display. My polarized sunglasses, unfortunately, sometimes don't pick it up well. You still do have the covered grab handles, which is really nice. Second row, you keep all the soft touch Harman Kardon speakers, carbon fiber up around the top, nice coloring trim on the door handles here. Looks nice. Storage there. Got the Ram entry with the storage down below. Very nice. Got the partition down below. Very cool. And the other cool thing about the Ram is these are actually reclining seats in the second row. So you can kind of see the difference. This one is in and that one is reclined. What I like about the Ram is you do have heated and cooled second row seating, so this is pretty cool. And a day like today, you'd really appreciate. Plus, you got this awesome second row center console area. It's really nice. Speakers up top. The suede liner looks really, really nice. You got the suede on the back, little storage, the Molly connector. You do have a 110-volt plug here. You got a little storage there. Let's see what our buddy TRD John says. What you think about this big dog?
It's pretty nice.
It is pretty nice.
I was just sitting in the AC for a little bit.
Dude, I'm getting hot too. Man, I like this.
Yeah, I wish, I mean, the level 1 is nice because I wanted the massaging seats and all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So much better to just have that.
I think they're being built right now.
Yeah, order started last week.
Just order started last week, and I've heard they're getting built like right now. Yeah. This is gonna move quick. All right, guys, I wanna kind of show you some of the colors, not all of them, but some of the colors of the new TRX in similar lighting. So you can kind of see the new beadlocks, I think look really good. The accents with the Serrano green with the red accents, man, I dig it. That looks really good. You got the red, it's a deeper color. I think it looks really sharp. Here's another Serrano color. And then you've got your billet, which looks nice. And you can kind of see, which is kind of nice with these different combinations. You can see the standard wheel, the beadlock, the silver with the red accents, the red with the green with the red accents, and so on. And plus, it's also kind of nice. You can see a few of these different trucks. More to come. Really excited to show what's coming next. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you got any questions, leave your comments down below. I'd love to get your guys' thoughts on the new TRX and some of the changes they've made versus the prior generation, as well as versus the current RHO. What do you think about both these trucks? And with the competitive landscape in this off-road market, what a fun time to be an off-road truck enthusiast. Hey guys, I hope you enjoy this video. We got a lot more fun coming. Stay tuned.